Now you need to understand what market are you going to be trading. You need to understand that market. You need to make that decision. So the basic market, or the first go-to market that everyone goes to, is normally the gold market. It's not the easiest. Nothing is easy in forex, but it's the most common one traded. And I think in 2022, when I started trading silver. Big mistake. And then was gold, and from there on it just stuck to gold. I never had the urge to trade any other market. I would sometimes play around with other markets, but I make enough in just the gold market alone. So you need to understand, when it comes to currency pairs, you need to have a clear mindset around, currency pairs. And there's three categories where they fall under, and that is major pairs, minor pairs, and exotic pairs. Now, your major pairs will consist of anything against the dollar, or the dollar versus anything. So it involves the US dollar. That is your major pairs, like Euro USD, GBP USD, USD JPY. Alright. Then you get minor pairs. These are all made up of the major pairs, excluding now the US dollar. So for instance, Euro versus the pound. That makes sense. Okay. So that is like minor pairs, and then exotic pairs is like your major pairs with one weird pair, like the pound versus the rand, or USD versus the rand. Okay, USD versus the Singaporean dollar. So those are your three categories that we categorize them in. Then, very, very important to note is you have a base currency and you have a quote currency. Now, the base currency is the first pair, and the quote currency is your second pair. So if you trade gold, gold is your base currency, and the dollar is your quote currency. So what this means is that if the dollar weakens, we will see the gold price move up. So if the dollar strengthens, we'll see the gold price move down. Okay, this is your base and your quote. Now, it's very important to note, if you trade something where the dollar is now your base and the yen is your quote, that it's vice versa what's going to happen. Okay, so you always need to understand this. The quote currency is the price you see on the side. That is how much it will cost to buy one of the base currencies. So for instance, it will cost $4,325 to buy 1 ounce of gold. Now, if you trade USD JPY, then that just means that's how many yen it will cost to buy $1. So the price you see here, so is the yen, okay, the quote currency. So if the dollar strengthens, what will happen to the market? The market will go up, because now it will cost more yen to buy the dollar, to buy $1, because the dollar is strengthening and gaining more value. So if the dollar weakens, you will also see the price of the market moving downwards, because now it will cost less money to buy $1. Okay, but we'll get more into that later on.